Hi, this is Austin Square 24. I'm here to tell you my 32 teams, one word questions of starting not in alphabet order or order. This is Austin Square 24 here. And my theme for Arizona, and starting with the Central, then going to the Pacific, then Atlantic, then Metropolitan. So starting with the Central, my question for Arizona is stadium. Will they get that stadium? When will they get that stadium? Are they going to get that stadium soon enough? And how well would they play at that stadium? This year or next year, whenever they get that stadium. When, where, how, I don't care. They just need to get that stadium. And when they get the stadium, they need to play well. For Colorado, it's repeat. Whoever they repeat against, even if it's Tampa, Toronto, Ottawa surprisingly, or Carolina, or even Florida, who knows? They just want to know. My question for Colorado is repeat. Are they going to do it again? Who are they going to do it? Are they going to beat Edmonton? Are they going to beat Nashville? So on. Or Calgary even. Or even Iowa surprisingly. For Dallas, it's defense. I gotta give Dallas a question about defense. I usually forget about Dallas. Especially the mascot. What's their mascot even supposed to be? I always forget Dallas, but my question for Dallas is defense. For Minnesota, it's the backup. As they don't have Cam Talbot anymore, who's going to be the backup for Minnesota? And can he play proven the point? Who's going to back up for Fleury? For Winnipeg, it's shutouts. Are they going to get shut out by Arizona again? Who are they going to get shut out by? Can they oppose shutouts? They can't just win 1-0, then lose 1-0, or lose 2-0 in a row, and then win 2-0 in a row back to back. My opinion for Winnipeg is shutouts. How many times can they get shut out this year? How many times are they going to pose shutouts to opponents? And as for Cyrus, can he be healthy in that for the playoffs? Because they don't have Ingram anymore. Then you need Cyrus to be healthy. If he's not healthy, who do they got? So they need Cyrus to be healthy. For Chicago, it's uniforms. Either stop talking about uniforms or get this thing right. My preference, and I don't like the uniforms, or my reference, I just don't like it. But I like the uniforms better than the name. So they gotta do the reference or preference of what they're gonna do about the uniforms. I don't like the Washington Redskins or uniforms or name either. So they gotta figure this out as soon as possible. And for St. Louis, it's the crowd. I want Louis to get the crowd entertaining, like they do in the mascot for Minnesota. He gets he gets it in crowd. Buffalo even with the hammer by Sabretooth gets the crowd entertaining. I want Louis to do something. And I want the crowd to be more entertaining. I want Louis to get involved for the crowd. I want the crowd to be loud. For Anaheim, it's Seagrass. From the Pacific, it's Anaheim Seagrass. He's gonna do another lacrosse move. What's the Seagrass have pull up his sleeves this year? For Seattle, it's the mascot. For my issue with Seattle, it's the mascot. Can Bowie be can they make it a spark? Can Bowie? It sounds like a boat thing that they put in the water for to make sure the swimmers don't go past the buoy. The boy or the buoy. It sounds like what you put in the water. The mascot buoy. Can he get entertaining for the Seattle crowd? For Calgary, it's captain. Who's the captain for Calgary? Because they don't have Johnny Carrera anymore. So they need to find out who's the captain. who's going to be the captain there. For Edmonton, it's Campbell. My question for Edmonton about Campbell. Can Campbell be as good as he was for leave in Edmonton, where he had a restaurant and they need Skinner to pull up his sleeves? For Vancouver, it's the Irons. I want the Irons to be more loud. I want Finn to get into action and spark up the Irons in Vancouver, or do something unusual to get the Irons pump up. I want Finn to get the Irons pump up or hype for the game, and instead of being miserable and blowing a comeback after they tie up the game and they fall back to sleep again. I want the Irons, I want Finn to get something there. I want them to be hype up for Vancouver. For Los Angeles, will they stay competitive? Will they get into the playoffs? That's my question for Los Angeles. It's competitive. Can they stay competitive? For San Jose, my question for San Jose is improvement. Improvement. They need improvement. That's all I have for San Jose. Are they going to be an improvement from last year? Or are they going to struggle? Las Vegas is interesting. Are they going to stay interesting? That's my question for Las Vegas. Interesting. Are they going to be interesting? Now going to Atlantic. Sorry if I spell it wrong, but it's Atlantic. I'm going to start with Florida. Comeback is my question for Florida. Comeback. Are they going to come back again in the third period after being down like 4-0, 8-0, or whatever? Or are they going to just blow out, come back, and just keep the lead? Or going to have the lead for the whole entire game? My question for Florida is comeback. Are they going to do it again this year? For Tampa, it's final. Would they make it for the 4th straight year into the finals? Or would the Rangers or Toronto or Carolina even, or surprisingly Buffalo, Detroit, will break it? Or will they lose against Colorado? Who knows? That's my competitive the finals. Sorry, are they gonna Are they gonna be in the finals for the 4th time? For Toronto, it's the supporting fans. That I think for Toronto, it's just supporting. I know they hadn't won in 20 years against Arizona at home in regulation, but who cares about that? The fans just need to be supportive and see if they can win it again against Buffalo this year. That's all they need to do. And don't give Seattle any spark. Because once you get Seattle to get spark, then you know what that happened. They would just do it just like Arizona. I want to see supportive fans. Like that 7-4 win against Colorado last year in Toronto. For Boston, it's the starter. They need to go with a number 1 starter, not 1A and 1B with Swayman or they need number 1 starter. And they gotta stick with it. Choose your poison, choose your pick, and stick with it. For Buffalo, it's shellac. Are they gonna shellac in the 3rd period? Or are they gonna prove their point? Why they're competitive? Are they gonna stay in first for a while instead of falling back to reality? For Montreal, it's shocking. Can they be shocking this year? Or will they fall asleep in the 3rd period again? As the youngest captain out there, Cerise, I'm not going to even pronounce his name. For Ottawa, it's offense. I want to see Ottawa continue their offense. They don't have Connor Brown, but I want to see what kind of offense Ottawa has this year. Detroit is octopus. Are you going to continue that trend of the octopus? For Metropolitan is Carolina. Can they be still exciting, or they're gonna be a really not exciting team. Exciting is my question for Carolina, not Arizona. I'm going way off the board there. Carolina, are you gonna stick to exciting and not have boring games? For Columbus, is stall. Are you gonna have a rocky start? Are you gonna stall in the third period? Are you gonna stall out of the gates? With Columbus, they need to prove the point why they're a team instead of waiting for the playoffs and being a wild card, or if just being fifth in the division or sixth. Stall is my question for Columbus. Is Columbus gonna start out of the gates? Washington is tickets. The prices are very low in Washington, so I want to see Washington's prices raise up after every game. I want to see the tickets market up, go up in Washington, because it's really cheap right now for tickets in Washington. Same as Calgary, same as Nashville. But Washington tickets, you don't surprisingly think they're going to be really cheap. But they are, so that's what they need to do. And for Pittsburgh, it's choke. Is Pittsburgh going to choke again in the playoffs? Or will they win in the first round? For Philadelphia, it's streaks. Then you have a good streak. Now I have like an 8-game losing streak and an 8-game winning streak, because they need to actually. It's similar with Winnipeg's with shutouts. They can't have the streak and the shutouts, like 2-0 shutout, 4-game winning streak back to back, because then you're 500 and you stay 500. It's the same stuff with Winnipeg and Philadelphia. The streaks need to be better for Philadelphia. Have a better winning streak than losing streak. Just like Winnipeg with their shutouts, Winnipeg having a better, more shutouts against the opponent than getting shut out. So my team of Philadelphia is streaks. New Jersey, the record has to be better than last year. The record's bad, they could be a bad team. But they will be still fun. And with weak goalies, they need the record to be changed. For a New York Islanders, it's surprisingly. Are they going to be surprisingly? Are they going to surprise people? Just like Montreal. Or they're not going to be surprisingly, like last year. And for New York Rangers, it's tired because they don't have Georgiana. Are they going to put in Surgeon too many times? Is he getting too much tired? And that's it for my thing. For my NHL questions about 32 teams, Awesome 24 Great is out.